So on to the next segment, which is Johor Bahru's education to industry pipeline. So in layman terms, what I'm trying to discuss here with the both of them is our opinions on how students transition from the educational part of their lives to the career part of their lives, where AI is making the corporate world move so quickly. So we're going to share some opinions about that. So what are your opinions about this role of education in producing talent for cross-border and AI-led businesses? As Aaron mentioned, some schools, some universities here already as well. So what are your opinions?
Again, this is a very relevant question because recently I've been invited to be an adjunct faculty lecturer at one of these UK universities in JB, because the concern over the career counseling services are whether their graduates are able to land a good, not just any employment, a good, safe and secure long-term job with prospects for growth when they graduate, because we see a divergence between what people enrolled students are learning now as opposed to when they will graduate 3 or even 4 years later with undergraduate studies, because the world is very dynamic and changing at
Yes, definitely.
very
Very
rapid
fast
pace
pace.
right now.
Very fast pace.
So with the adoption of AI, I'm sure all of us are aware that many jobs will become obsolete and there's a need for retraining. But what more for current syllabuses that has been formulated traditionally, the traditional job space in focus. So I think there's a lot of worries over parents, even not just among academicians. Um, so in this regard, I think there's a lot of urgent need for industrial internships and postings, and not just one country only. It has to be regional and in regional partnership, where, for example, students in Singapore can see, as Jen pointed out, because Singapore does not have a large or huge, vibrant manufacturing hub, as opposed to countries such as Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, because of cheaper human labor capital, as well as land and raw material manufacturing resources. Even recently, we saw the Trump tariffs. A large concern was about rare earth, and that increasingly the focus is moved to countries like Malaysia, Thailand. They even have large deposits of rare earth. And in that context, there will be manufacturing capabilities that will be built where the raw materials are, like rare earth. Malaysia has Linus, the rare earth production capability by Australian technology in Kuantan. And right now, China is interested to build another hub in Malaysia. So, and in partnership with US because of US concerns as well. So I think there is a rare convergence of this unique storm of storms that they will create, reshuffle the play deck. And in such this timing, then it will realign and aid the development and growth of the region. So as I said, the convergence of AI, tech, and raw materials will really aid in the development of GSSCC, as we see is taking place very rapidly with the RTS train connecting Johor and Singapore coming up very shortly as well.
All right, very well said. Thanks for your, as I've always mentioned, his very in-depth analysis of the whole topic. All right, so Jen, my question for you is, how do you, from your experience in the association and all the consultancy stuff that you've done, right? You have a pretty good idea of how the local institute back in Singapore, how the local institutions and how the schools are dealing with the fast-paced growth of AI, and how they're injecting AI into work and study, right, into education. So what's your opinion on identifying graduates and partners with local institutions to source for talent? You can apply this to both JB and Singapore. based on your knowledge?
So I think let me first add on to what Aaron has elaborated on. I want to say that uh, in Singapore, yes, we are good at certain things, and but we also see that Malaysia is doing well in other areas.
Yes.
And both countries, we are all both part of ASEAN, and there definitely, I think that the way forward as a region, right, is to have a greater economic cooperation,
Yes,
greater
definitely.
economic integration. So where we see Malaysia has been doing quite well is in education in the STEM fields. And you can really see this because every day there are people traveling across the causeway towards Singapore for our semicon industries. And the best engineers, the best data scientists from Johor side travels across the causeway to work in some of the factories over where I'm staying, Woodlands.
Woodlands.
Yeah. And it's so great. But then like, in the long run, right? Obviously this is not so sustainable. So since Johor has such a well-educated workforce, definitely that's where a lot of the manufacturing industry will head towards the special economic zone at Iskandar. So yeah, very happy to see that the region is getting developed together in collaboration with one another. In Singapore, we have all this know-hows in terms of manufacturing, and we are happy to contribute to setting up the new industries here in Malaysia.
Cool, cool. So, segment takeaway for this part that both Jen and Aaron have shared is a bit about how the cross-border business structure and the special economic zone can influence the retrain, training, and retaining for education to career transitions, or rather pipeline.